Demystifying trading journals and boosting your profits. That's what we're talking about today on today's Morning Coffee with Mike. Good afternoon, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to today's show. There are several reasons why part-time traders might find it difficult to journal. We're going to go through all these reasons here, from time constraints to lack of awareness to thinking that it's overly complex. We're going to address everything in today's show. We're also going to be taking your questions as well. So if you are over here on Instagram, make sure that you type into that little question bubble. If you're over here on Facebook and LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, just type right into the chat. It's nice and easy to see things over there. Also, if you haven't already subscribed, make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel. Okay, let's jump into it. So, thing number one when it comes to trading journals and why people don't do them is time constraints. Part-time traders often have limited time available for trading activities due to other commitments like work, family, personal obligations. Trust me, I know. I was a part-time trader for many, many years, and I only made the transition to being a full-time trader about 5 years ago in 2018. Now, some of the thoughts on what it means to even be a full-time trader, well, we'll get into that later on, but it does not mean that you are glued to the screens. Perhaps you have a little bit more time on your hands to do other things, but for the most part, you are not glued to the screens if you are a full-time trader. Anyhow, the additional time required for journaling might seem to be an additional burden when you are trading part-time. Think about it a lot. Like you're there, you want to be making money, you want to do the activities that will lead to more money in your pocket, right? I had that belief as well. And so I studied charts and I studied fundamentals and I studied position sizing and all these other things. And I started to make progress, but I quickly plateaued. And I was wondering, well, why am I plateauing? What am I doing wrong? And because I had no record of what I was doing, sure, I could take a look at the logs in my broker, but that's not really a journal. That doesn't tell me why I entered, where I entered, why I sold, where I sold, or any of the thoughts or anything surrounding the trade. I was basically starting from scratch every time that I needed to find a way to improve. So when I switched my mindset that journaling isn't a nice to have, but it's an essential requirement to trading successfully, that's when things started to change. That's when I finally started to make progress. When I began to journal my trades and I had that data, and I was able to go back and review what was working, what wasn't, why I was making the decisions that I was making, was able to take my winning trades, put them in one pile, take my losing trades, put those in another pile, and then see, well, what's common here, what's common there, and then do more of what's working and less of what's not, and have the the data to be able to support all that. That's what led to success down the road. And I'll share my journal with you. I actually have my trading journal up here. Take a look at my trading journal right now. And this is this is what it looks like. There's a lot in here, as you can see. I've got uh, data here for market conditions, data here for open trades. Um, yeah, this spreadsheet goes on a long ways. I've got to scroll over to the right. Some of my open trades there, action lists, different focus lists, all the different trades that I'm interested in, sector leaders. Like there's so much that I put into this journal, and it might look a bit complex. If I was seeing it for the first time, I would think that it's complex. Let me know what you think. Type into the chat. The idea with it, though, is that it didn't start at this level that I'm at right now. It started slow. It started by putting on the most essential things that I thought at the time. Okay, let me start to track my tickers. Let me start to track the entry price, the stop loss, the target, the position size. Let me track the trade management plan as the trade was progressing, and the charts. And it started there. Over time, I started to add other things, and then that's how it started to become this much more detailed journal that I just shared with you. You could create something like this from scratch in Google Sheets for free. I give it to the people that are in the Mara Elite program because it just makes life easier for everybody to not just follow along with what I'm doing, but to be able to have a starting place for your own journal rather than going out and having to recreate something yourself. You've got a template there. But let's talk about some of the other things well when it comes to journaling and why part-timers often struggle well with journaling. One of the reasons is lack of awareness. Some part-time traders may not be fully aware of the benefits of journaling or may not understand how it can help improve their trading performance. I think that we covered that in spades just now. Perceived complexity. Journaling trades might seem really daunting, especially if you don't know where to start. And now, while I did eventually make a spreadsheet and build on that spreadsheet, where I started was just simple pad and paper journals, right? Just making notes and journaling my trades that way. The most important thing when it comes to any kind of journaling is that you just simply start and you start with the expectation that this thing is going to look drastically different as time progresses. It'll look different a month from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, 2 years from now. 2 years from now, it's going to be unrecognizable to what it is if you start today. Another thing, lack of discipline, right? Everybody thinks that, oh, you need to be extraordinarily disciplined when it comes to trade journaling. You need to consistently journal your trades. Those things are true. And you might have this idea that I've got to be disciplined and I don't know if I can have this discipline. If you're struggling with discipline, think of discipline this way. You are already disciplined. You're disciplined in not journaling. You're disciplined in doing other things aside from journaling. So just take a look at what it is that you're actually doing. And those are the things that you have discipline on. A lot of people are disciplined at hitting the snooze button. I was for a very long time as well. It's discipline is more, well, when I think of discipline, I think of something that's uh, become a habit. That's something that's you're basically doing it automatically, whether you really feel like it or not. And even with the things that are not fun all the time, right? The journaling can sometimes be a chore. Sometimes it could feel like a pain in the ass. But when you build a habit, it makes it easier. So it's not where like, oh, I've got to be disciplined. Well, perhaps in the beginning, you need to hold yourself accountable to get the journaling in, but it's a matter of changing the habit, changing the mindset, changing the perspective. And if you've listened to what we've said already about all the benefits that are coming along with journaling, and that it's not a nice to have, but it's a requirement for trading success, then it starts to become easier to follow through and do it because it's not just this nice to have. This is, if I want to be successful at trading, this is what I've got to do. Simple as that. Okay, see a question coming in here from uh, Rias. Let's answer Rias's question. Uh, Rias says, exactly, my journal has been improved over the months. On each month, I do have some things to add and track in the journal. I really did it from scratch. Exactly, Rias. That's the process that so many of us follow. Keep, yeah. My thoughts to you would be to keep doing what you're doing. Let's see. Well, what's next? Next big fear for journaling, a fear of making mistakes. So journaling requires a level of honesty with ourselves. We've got to be honest with ourselves. And if we're journaling our trades and there's things that we don't like, and in the beginning, there's going to be plenty of things that we don't like. There might be a lot of confusion. Revisiting that stuff isn't going to be fun. It's going to be challenging. It could be tough. It's going to make us feel uncomfortable when we're going back and we're looking at, yeah, I screwed up here, I screwed up there. What was I thinking on this trade? This cost me money. Those are precisely the things that we need to revisit to improve our trading. If we don't, then guess what? We get to make those same mistakes again and again and again. So wouldn't it be uh, better to have the pain of going back and reviewing them versus having the pain in the wallet? Next, lack of structure, lack of guidance. So without structure and guidance, journaling is difficult. Or you might think that journaling is difficult. Where do you start? Do I make a spreadsheet? Do I get some software? Do I start in a book? I talk about how to get started in the trading mind wheel, and we've mentioned a lot of what to do already. The main idea is that you simply get started, whether you're doing it in a with a piece of paper, whether you're doing it with a spreadsheet, like what I showed you earlier, or if you get some kind of journaling software. I actually just made a new guide of my top 5 favorite resources. And one of the things that I speak about in there are some of the journaling softwares, plus the different spreadsheets that I use. So if you haven't gotten that, go get the top 5 resources. I'll put a link in my bio and in the show notes. The main thing with journaling, like I said, just start. Start, journal. You could start here. Uh, write the date, write the ticker if you're trading stocks, if you're the or the symbol if you're trading crypto or forex or whatever it is. Write those things down. Write your entry price. Write your stop loss. Write your target. Write the price where you exit the trade. Write your position size and write your rationale for the trade. For I was about to say for bonus, but I actually think that this is essential as well. Write about the environments that you're taking the trade in. So, one of the things that I talk about in the trading mind wheel, and one of the things that helped me start to change my path from boom and bust cycle to consistently profitable, was looking at the environment. There's a difference between buying a stock that's in an uptrend and consolidating that's within a strong market versus one that's consolidating and starting to break out that's in a bear market. You're going to have different results. So we need to be aware of the environment. Jot down the environment that you're taking the trades in and have ways to, and so these types of things make you start to think, well, how do I know what type of market environment that we're in? I've done other live streams about that. I've written about it on my blog on marawealth.com. I've also it's something that I teach inside the Mara Elite program, where we meet once a week. Well, actually, we meet twice a week. We got a mastermind on Saturdays. That's coming up tomorrow, and then we've got an Ask Us Anything, a weekly Ask Us Anything, where we're answering loads of questions, myself and our other coaches. So let's see. I have another question in here from Rias. That just Rias said that he started listening to the Trading Mind Wheel book on Audible, and would love to get a hard copy. So there's hard copies of the book available on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Target, Walmart, basically wherever books are sold, you could get a hard copy of the Trading Mind Wheel. Uh, I believe it's also available in ebook and yeah, audiobook. I think Apple even sells it as well. Wiley is very good about getting it to all the different distributors. Let's see what other questions are coming in. What questions do you guys have about journaling? Let's see. Uh, This question from Instagram, Lake Graham says, "How to make a journal and stick to it? Can I have a template?" Yes, you could have my template. So I share my template with our Mauer Elite members. So what I would suggest that you do, if you're interested in getting my template, go to mauerwealth.com and there's a membership button right at the top. Go check out the membership, see if it's right for you. And if it is, the trading journal is a part of the membership. So you will be able to get access to it that way. Let's see, what other questions do you guys have? Omar says, "Good job. You're doing good work." Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Got a few more minutes here, so don't be shy with your questions. Let's try to keep it journaling focused. If there's no journaling questions, then I'm happy to answer any other questions you guys have. Okay, we've got a question here, general question about mindset. How do you go about improving your mindset? The first thing to do when it comes to improving your mindset is to see what sort of beliefs that you have. Even if you were to start to change environment, that there's so many things about mindset that are out there. To me, that it's fairly common, but um, some of the common things that I see out on Instagram and out on Twitter and the other social medias, threads, that's a new thing now, is to change your environment, get around other people. And yeah, we all kind of understand that what we watch, read, listen to, those things are going to influence us, whether we like it or not. That's a great thing to do, and that's absolutely true. What I think is also important, and if you don't do this, I think that you're uh, going to end up screwing yourself because I didn't do this step for a very long time. And when I finally did this step, I had drastic improvement. So, what we want to do is to start to dig into our beliefs. Right? Well, think of beliefs as programming. Well, when we were born, since when we were born to present day, we've been influenced by everything, right? We've been influenced by our parents, we've been influenced by media, teachers, relatives, friends, everything around us. Well, we're constantly getting fed this data, and so we've acquired beliefs over time, and we need to go back and see, well, what beliefs do we have, right? Well, what beliefs stuck? So the place to start would be to start to ask questions. What beliefs do I have about trading? Right, you literally have hundreds of these. Write out, what beliefs do I have about trading? Then write out, what beliefs do I have about money? And then finally, write, what beliefs do I have about myself? Those are going to be the primary beliefs that will influence your success or failure as a trader. So you're going to start out by writing out all these beliefs, write out as many as you can. It should take you a while to do this. It should take you an hour or two to sit there and write out beliefs about trading, self, and money. Again, you've literally got hundreds of these. If you need to take breaks, take breaks. Do what you have to, but get out as many as you can. Allow it to be just be a stream of consciousness. Trading belief, if it could be as simple as a rule that you're following. A rule that I have is if the 10-day exponential moving average is violated, then that counts as a danger signal for me. That's a belief, right? That's not a common trading belief probably, but it's a belief. So that would be something an example of something that I would be jotting down. You literally have hundreds of these things. Write down as many of them as you can. From there, you could start to see, well, what goals do I have for myself? Write down your goals. Then you could start to see, okay, well, I've got these beliefs. Which beliefs are helping me get to the goals, and which beliefs are not helping me get to the goals? Go through the list, check off which ones yes, which ones no. And then you could, for all the ones that you've checked off as no, then you could start to question those beliefs a bit more. Why am I holding on to this belief? Is it serving me in some other way presently? Can I let this belief go? If yes, great. Let it go. If not, well, why not? And then you dig deeper into those beliefs. And that's how you start to deconstruct the programming. Hopefully that helps a bit. As I went on that rant, let's see if other questions came in. BBC firm, welcome, welcome. Good to see you. It's been a long time. Question from But Photo Sodully. Do you use if and then statements when journaling? When I'm journaling the raw data. So let me share my screen again. All right. Got the journal up over there, and it's back on YouTube. Okay, so for the different parts of my journal, like that, this is where I'm journaling the uh, what I call the market mood, or you might think of it as market conditions. This is tracking the trend across the indexes and across time frames. I'm tracking distribution days. I'm tracking the number of stocks making new highs and new lows. I'm tracking the quality of the setups that I'm finding day to day, week to week. That's that's something that gives such great insight into the general market condition. I can't even tell you like that. That's an entire show all by itself. Then I'm tracking the number of stocks that are on the focus list in the neighborhood. In the neighborhood is ones that are close to setting up but aren't quite there yet. I'm tracking the trade ideas performance. So there's a difference between the trades that I actually take, which are the open trades, and the trades that I find. I want to track the performance of both because that too is giving me key insights into the environment. So this whole page is pretty much raw data. There's a couple of formulas in here, but not a whole lot. Right, a lot like win rate and last 10 trades, things out like streaks over here. So I'm tracking the streaks for the different market conditions. That's formula based, but a lot of what I'm doing is manual data entry. Some of the calculations are on the other page, right? Let's switch this back over. So for like open trades, right? So to get the current price that's imported, I've got a formula up here for that. It's grabbing it from FinViz and from Google Finance. Um, the percent gain loss on the trade, the percent gain or loss in terms of R multiple. That's formula based, and it's just taking the data that's here and uh, doing the calculation. There's the formula right up there. Again, none of the stuff is overly complex. Um, you certainly could go and do it yourself. Um, I give it out to members to save a lot of time. Like it's just easier to have that part of it done for you, because it did take consider about a good amount of time to put it together. Let's see. Any other questions before we head on to the weekend? Yeah, for anybody that has not grabbed a copy of the Trading Mind Wheel book, again, because this came up a couple of times. The book is available on Audible. It's available on audiobooks. People are enjoying that. If you've already got the book, listen to the book, leave a review. It's going to help people find the book and get this into the hands of more people. So if you read it, listened to it, enjoyed it, make sure that you are leaving a review. I would greatly appreciate it. And that is it for today. I want to say thank you all so much for joining me today, and I will see you back here again on Monday, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Take care. Much love. Peace out, everybody.